Hello, Papa people. This is Carl from Papa Comics, and I want to tell you about my comic book called Mary Boys. I'll be launching a crowdfunding campaign for it on Indiegogo from the 1st of September this year. Mary Boys is basically about four little hoodlums with birth defects who go around, guided by the image of the Virgin Mary, kicking the proverbial poo out of bad guys to avoid a biblical apocalypse taking place in their hometown. They have a kind of superpower. Drinking beer actually makes them stronger and faster, but not funny or irresistible. They were also raised and taught to fight by this gnarly old priest who's basically a cross between Peter Steele of Typo Negative and Father Jack Hackett from the Father Ted Show. It's about other stuff too. I explain it all a lot better in the project description, so please have a look there. When you say the stuff out loud, it sounds sillier than it actually is. It's a black comedy, but it explores themes like social alienation, corporate greed, and family values. It's also a very British comic, so expect to find a good few cultural references and in-jokes there. This is for fans of comics like The Goon, Tank Girl, Cerebus, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and TV shows like The Young Ones and The League of Gentlemen. So here's the deal. I want to keep Mary Boys independent and free from editorial interference, and the best way to do this is to self-publish. With this Indiegogo, I aim to raise enough money to pay for the printing and shipping costs to bring you the first two issues of Mary Boys, containing the boys' origin story, introducing the major themes and characters prevalent in this ongoing series. For your support, you will receive a range of incentives, including print editions of the two comics and work from our already published catalogue. So that's my pitch, and if it sounds interesting, please go ahead and back it today. Thank you very much in advance for your support.
I got the hot drive on modulator and the tube gate on even flow. Inside the time space continuator, there's a flex mount that's set to go. This thing is vertical, retractable, reversible, submerge your boat and jam it in. And the mechanism cross the divide, multiply and disk drive, let's jam it in, let's jam it in. Plug the main out into the AC. I've got the steam pre to heat it up. If there's a dropout inside the timepiece, then the jam scene will lock it up. I've been building it, planning it, dreaming it, planning it, jamming it, jamming it. And if I pull a switch and nothing hits, I'll do it all again. Right now, I give everything. In the undergrid, we're getting shaky. The excitement is in the air.
Cheers! Hi, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, maybe good evening, depending on where you're at. We have an international show today. This is actually my second guest from the UK this month. I interviewed a 3D animator named Robin a couple weeks ago. He worked on Cyberfrog. And today I'm really excited because there's a comic book that enlightened me that I was hearing all sorts of great stuff about. And I reached out to CHUBB online and we traded comics, and his comics came a few weeks ago. And I just read, maybe a couple weeks ago, I read them both back to back. And I just read them again last night just so I could be fresh. So we can have some fun with our guests today. So I'm going to bring them in shortly. I just wanted to say good morning. It's morning here in California, and I'm caffeinated. This is my second cup of coffee. My tummy is full. I had some, you probably won't like this. I am allergic to eggs, so I had to have scrambled tofu with spinach and mushrooms. It's something I have to get used to. I haven't had tofu in a while. It's okay, but it's not like scrambled eggs. So unfortunately, when you get old, you find out that you're allergic to things and you can't eat them. We have a good size amount of people in the chat already. We have 11. That's awesome. Thank you for coming. Let me say hi to you guys out there in cyberspace. Hope you had a nice Christmas. If you celebrate, that you're getting ready for New Year's, and gosh, that's just a couple days, and then we're into 2022. Can it get any weirder than 2021? I predict aliens in 2022, and I don't know if they'll be friendly or not, but I kind of feel like that's kind of where we're headed, folks. Is the alien first contact? Do you agree? You probably do. I mean, it can't get much weirder than what we've had the last couple of years. But already in the chat, we have our good friend Arya. Arya, thank you so much. In fact, I think it was Arya's stream and his campaign where I first learned about Merry Boys. He would talk about CHUBB, and he would say, you know, we've got some incentives that are drawn by CHUBB. And I'm going, what is this guy named CHUBB? And then I see him on an auction stream. I think it might have been Red Valkyrie's auction stream a few months ago, and he was on there, and he's such a cool guy. He's so mild-mannered, and he's super talented. I mean, when you look at Merry Boys, you will love it. In fact, I changed my fish tank, my virtual fish tank out, and to honor them, and I have church screensaver today, and I had a choice between London, England, and church screensavers. I thought, I don't know if CHUBB lives in London, so I'm just going to make it kind of more of a religious theme today, because Merry Boys has roots in kind of I think the Catholic Church, and we'll get to talk to him about that. And we also have the lovely Mrs. CHUBB in the green room, and she's going to tell us about her role in this awesome comic book, and she looks very nice there. Proper Comics is the name of the company that CHUBB and Mrs. CHUBB run. We'll find out more about that. We have all the way from the Netherlands, Mike Jimmy is here. The always, what would you call it? Wisecracking Chris Fisk. Chris, you're getting some good chat. I watch you now on like Bancroft Show and stuff. You're pretty sassy. I like that. In fact, I have your book. I think you are the creator of Infantile Chronicles, and I've got like this huge stack over on my left. I think I'm just going to have to do a show where I open up like 5 or 6 boxes, because they're piling up. Maybe I'll do it on New Year's Day or this weekend. But I've got like his book, and it came also with, I think, a rolled poster. I've got Joe Catapano's Star Circuit here. I've got Eric Canetti's Arc Athena just came yesterday. And I've got the Alterna Fall Comics bundle. And what else? Yeah, just a bunch of stuff that I'm going to open. And I think I could fill up a whole show with just opening stuff. So we'll do that. We have Darius Munchausen in the house. Thank you, Darius. That sounds German. And we see the Mr. Dillard Draws. Hi, Dillard. How are you? Oh, I'm trying to write Skyver. Good to see you, Dillard. Hope you had a good Christmas. Please let us know. Tag me when you're gonna announce the winner of the boomerang box. That was a fun promo. Nico Tronis is here. Nice to see you. And let's see. Yeah, you saw Tailless. All right, you've been like one of my first. You're like one of my first guests on my show, like last year, which is awesome. We have Aria likes my blazer. Thank you, my friend. I got it on Amazon. It comes with matching pants. I haven't had the guts to put on the pants and go out in public, but this would be a great con outfit. If I go to a con, I will definitely wear the pants and the blazer, and you guys will definitely spot me from like, you know, down the hall and stuff. We also have the always charming devil flyer Rex Christian in the house. Good morning. Thank you, Rex. Who else do we have? 24 Outcast Owls is here, 24 Eyes. Good to see you, my friend. Thank you for posting your Parody Press collection. Marigo Ann is there. Hi, Marigo. Boy, we have a lot of new people. That's awesome. I love that. I love to see people that I haven't seen before in the chat. So this is going to be fun today, guys. We're going to have four chances to win work by CHUBB today. And I will go ahead and explain that real quickly. So every 15 minutes, we are going to have a little timer here. And I have a special sound effect. Let me find it on my phone. I planned this last night. So you're going to hear this. I'll have to turn my phone on so you guys can hear it. Okay, let's see if it'll work here. All right. So when you hear that, you got to get ready for the quiz. And I think if you were familiar with Merry Boys, you should be able to get most of these quizzes right. And it's going to be digital copies. You can choose your choice of either Merry Boys, a set of 1 and 2, Merry Boys 1 and 2, or one of CHUBB's earlier works, which is called Sparko. And it's like a 175-page graphic novel. So you're going to get some cool things to read. If you haven't read Merry Boys already, you're going to get the chance to win these. So we'll go ahead and do that soon. I'll go ahead and bring our guests in. There they are. Hello.
Yeah, hi.
Hi.
Hi, Chad.
You?
Hi, everybody.
You look great. How was your day?
Yeah, it's been a bit longer than yours because you're in the morning. We've had a whole full day already. Just it's this no man's land between Christmas and New Year's where you just walk around in your pants and time stands still, and it's like that. I'm not really sure what it was like. It's like I just got out of bed.
Now, do you two work a day jobs, or are you a full-time at-home artist? Or
Oh no, I got a day job. What do you do?
I work from home.
yes.
Mainly online trading, eBay stuff.
Yeah,
Okay.
and she's part of the Merry Boys team now. Proper Comics posting things out.
Pushing.
Well, I've got her into the promotion part of it. I said, I can't do all this by myself. Please help. But she's been really popular on Twitter and Instagram, and so she's taken really well. She really likes her banter. It seems too much.
Yes. I'm a follower of both of you folks, and I enjoy your content. We have some people saying hi to you. Rex says hello. Akronis says hello. We also have Pedro saying hello from all the way from Panama, and Marigo Ann says hello as well. So tell us can you tell us what part of England you're from, or where you hail from?
It's the Great Southwest. It's Bristol.
Bristol. Okay. So are you
That's
close?
where we are. That's not where we are from, but that's where.
Yeah, we're both immigrants, so It's
Okay. So what countries are you originally from? I would imagine maybe Germany for you, Carl, or
no, South Africa actually.
Oh wow. No kidding. I did not know that. How long have you lived in the UK?
Oh geez, since it's been about 15 years now, I think.
16.
Yeah.
Okay.
Going on 16.
Yeah. Long time.
Yeah.
Still have the accent though. People still go, yeah, from South Africa.
There you go. How about you, Mrs. CHUBB? Where are you from originally?
Can you guess?
You sound I'm guessing either Ukrainian or Russian.
Very close. I'm from Poland.
Poland. Okay, nice. So here's my first question for the day. I have some quick questions lined up for you. Here we go. Sorry, got a lot of banners here. How did CHUBB and Mrs. CHUBB meet?
Oh yeah, this is embarrassing.
In a short, don't take
we
a
were clubbing in the same club.
Yeah, she'd just broken up with her boyfriend of like 12 years, and I was at the bar already quite drunk, and I don't know, he was looking really miserable. This is a massive Polish guy. He's about 6'3". He's huge, I think, big broken nose. So I'm, I'm a friendly guy. I was, so why are you looking so bloody sad? What's your problem? And he's like, oh, I'm very sad because my girlfriend, she broke up with me. I'm like, really? Oh, that's terrible. And she's very attractive. And I'm like, oh, really? Is she? And she's on the dance floor over there. And then I disappeared to the dance floor. And he wanted to kill me afterwards, but he never did, luckily. He's we're good friends now, though. Me and this, he's a good bloke. But yeah, that was a dirty move. But yeah, it's been a long time now. I think he's forgiven us.
So that was, you said about 15 years ago?
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
No, longer.
That was when I just came to the UK.
2005.
That's when I just came to the UK.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Mrs. Chubb, you were here in the UK before him, or?
Yeah. Yeah, in January it will have been 18 years.
Okay, that's neat. So you say you kind of do e-commerce at home, and Carl, can you tell us what your day job is, or would you rather not tell us what?
Well, I'm a lawyer.
Are you really?
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
I didn't know that. Wow, you're probably one of the first comic book creators that's a lawyer I've ever met before.
It's hard to balance the two things. And Anne is asking if it was Slimelight. It was indeed Slimelight where we met. Yeah, in the chat.
Really?
We have fellow Slimelighters here. Great.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what's funny is that I read your comic book, and you've got some slang in there that I don't know, so I'm going to ask you about that. But I just figured out last night what canal means, and I'm going, who's this Canal character that's in the book? I'm flipping through it, and I'm going, there's nobody named Canal in the book. They're all named after princes and stuff. And so then a light bulb went off last night. Said he is using the F word in a very little sneaky way. Canal. So anyways, I'm just wanted to put that out there before I forgot. So Carl, so you are do you prefer, actually that's one of my other questions, is how did you get the name Chubb? Because you go by Carl in your earlier work. So
it was an online, it's a nickname I had from school that turned into a forum nickname that I decided, well, I'm just going to start using Chubb. And the reason being, there's already another Carl in CG, Carl O'Rourke, and people keep going because we're roughly from the same part of the world. They keep confusing the two of us. I'm not sure how. He's got hair, I don't. But so yeah, I just thought it's nice. It's got a bit of punch to it, and later on I found that it's actually in today's slang it's synonymous with penis. I didn't know that, but that was unfortunate. But I'm not going to change it now.
Oh yes, if you watched any Bill and Ted, you would know that that's the nickname for when Bill or Ted gets excited, is a Chubb. So, how long ago did you adapt that nickname?
It's a while ago. I think it's just before I started the Merry Boys campaign. The very early art stuff I still signed Carl Stefan, but it's not because I'm trying to hide who I am or anything like that. Jimmy's there saying, you're hearing it now, boys. No fan art profits from Merry Boys. The guy who knows how to sue you. Yeah, I'm not that kind of lawyer. Actually, I'm in real estate, so I'm just a paper shuffler. I don't go to court and sue.
Okay. So I'm in real estate too. I'm a real estate agent.
I noticed that. Yeah.
So we could have worked together in another lifetime.
Possibly. What's with comics and real estate?
Do you handle purchase agreements?
Yeah. It's I specialize in commercial stuff, so leases, freehold purchases, remortgages, stuff like that. Do you have to go into an office, or do you work mainly from your home? I get the option to. I'm lucky. I've got the option to do either. I tend to go into the office because I just want to draw comic books. It's like it's a mental switch. I can't, sit here and think legally. It doesn't work.
So you're like me. I'm a realtor by day and a creator by night, and so you're a creator by and a lawyer by day. That's awesome, dude. So So Chubb, let's get to the first quiz question today, and then every 15 minutes we'll do another one. So let me go ahead and play the bell tower. All right. All right. So there's the bell tower, folks, and this is your chance to win a copy of Chubb's work. So Chubb, you are going to offer them either a set, right?
Yeah.
Okay, of Mary Boys 1, 2, or your first work. At least I don't know if it was your first, but maybe you could tell people. Is it? Do you have a print copy that you can show? Okay, Sparko. Sparko is a graphic novel that Chubb sent me a digital copy of, and it's wonderful. I'm about 20 pages into it. It's
You're a
big.
soldier, because
It's
it's terrible.
It's 170 like 4 pages, so you're gonna get your chance to win some fun stuff to read today. So let's go ahead, folks in the chat. We're gonna go ahead and ask question number 1, and it is, do you want to read the question out loud,
Yep.
Carl?
Right. So Asbo is the name of the large supermarket chain in the story that caused many of Basham's social problems. And just to add, Basham is the town where the Mary Boys are from. And which of the following statements are true? A. Asbo is also the name for a type of court order given to unruly British youth to punish them for antisocial behavior. B. The name Asbo is an amalgamation of 2 real-life UK chain stores, one of which is a UK subsidiary of Walmart. C. The Mary Boys shop at Asbo.
Okay, so chat, those are the 3 choices: is A, B, or C. So the first person that comments in the chat, if they know it, will win your choice of either Mary Boys 1 and 2 digital or Sparko. So
just want to add, more than one can be correct.
Oh, okay. So Pops Van Zant already said A. I think he was the first person to answer. And then Chris Fisk said C. Muttman said B. So out of those people that commented, who wins?
Well, it's about a question, because more than one can be correct. It's about who's more correct.
Who's more correct? Okay, so you need to tell me who is A, B, and C. Actually, Muttman's trying to cover his bases. He says B. He's pretty cagey. Muttman does a show with 6 a.m. You're probably aware of that. And I know there's a 6 a.m. connection with Mary Boyce, which we can talk about. So it's up to you, Carl. You're the Mary Boyce expert, so you can choose who you think is deserving the.
Well, Commie Mark has already answered the question, but he's cheating a bit there because he's the Mary Boy's expert somehow.
Okay.
He's in on it.
So
They're all correct.
They're all correct.
They're all correct.
Okay, so I guess
what I'm going to do is, Commie Mark's already got all this material, so I think what I'm going to do is I'll send Pops, Matman, and who else answered the first 3 answers, because essentially they were correct. I'll send
okay. I think Chris, Pops, and Muttman are the winners. Yeah. So you folks that won, either shoot me your email in this private or in the chat, or you can send it to me on my Twitter. I think you guys all follow me, and then we can have Chubb send you those digital links to your choice, folks. So let us know if you want Sparko, or you can have Mary Boyce 1 and 2. So that's the first quiz. Let me go ahead and set the timer again for 15 minutes so we can do that again in 15 minutes. Okay, so let's go check out your campaign, folks, because that's what we want to kind of emphasize today. So let me go to your beef heads. And you have to tell me what is a beef head in your culture?
It's a thing that can mean either idiot, or it can mean somebody who likes to get into a lot of you know, somebody very argumentative.
Cantankerous.
So yeah, somebody cantankerous. I just thought it would be a good title for because it's 3 of the 4 stories are basically about skirmishes. So I thought it would be a good title for the book.
Okay.
I
So
was going to call it Various Beef, but then people wouldn't, you know, it wasn't clear enough.
now on the first 2, you did all the writing and artwork, correct? Other than the pinups, right? So is Beefheads, are you collaborating with more people, or are you doing 4 individual stories?
No, it's all me.
Really?
Me. Yeah.
And this is going to be the same, like, do you call this like A4 size?
Yeah, that's it. That's it. It's 8 by 11, I think, inches.
Okay. I really liked it because, you know, comics are fun when you can just, you know, I'm used to the smaller size, but I noticed you and also Mike Jimmy with Life on Korra, you do this A4 format. I think Nefarious is going to do his book A4 as well, but it reminds me of, you know, more of a magazine size, Mad Magazine. So you can really appreciate, you know, the artwork more than a smaller 6 by whatever comic book is. So what kind of led you to choose a bigger size format?
I think it's because in the UK there isn't really a standard format. I mean, you get American format, specifically called that, because all American comics are that format. But over here, it ranges, and even the most popular comics series, like 2000 AD, has changed format over the years. I think currently the Judge Dredd magazine, I think it's A4 as well. But if A4 tends to be a popular format, it's also the same format that we put through our printers for letters and things like that. So it also tends to be cheaper if you print it off, if you go to mix them or whatever, because they're not going to have to cut the paper stock. It's less work for them.
Okay.
And I also just like that size.
Yeah, it's it sticks out in my collection because all my other books are, you know, small, and it sticks out more. My wife got on me last night because every time I try to take your comic books out of the bag, it makes a wrinkling sound, and it wakes my dogs up. And she says, "Be real." She goes, "They think you're getting something to eat." I said, "I'm just reading a comic book." So that was kind of funny. So we've got any other questions out there in the chat, folks, about
I
Mary
spotted
Boys?
one. I think Anne was asking, what's the amalgamation of two chains? Well, the one's Asda and the other one's Tesco. It's not a perfect amalgamation, but I wanted to get Asda and end with an O or start with a T. So the closest thing was Asbo.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. I actually I did play your original pitch video before the show started, the one that you launched when you launched the series. But I actually have your trailer for Beefheads all ready to go. So if it's okay with you, can I play it, and then folks can kind of get you know, an idea of what the new book's about?
Oh, go for it. Yeah.
Okay, just a second. I have it all queued up here. I generally like to play it. I download them because when you stream, sometimes it has a lag and it's not as quite as clean. So you won't be on the screen and I won't be on the screen, but the fans will get to see it. So here we go. Here's Beefheads.
Here we go. Never far from a bloodstained paddle. Heading to the bar with my brothers holding hip to metal. I smell sinners and I swear I'm running out of cheeks. Father, forgive me, but my tolerance is getting weak. Should I flatten them out or should I take a shot? Bottoms up before I pile up some body parts. The devil's in the bottle, so I guzzle from a glass. With every sip I feel like taking out the city's trash. A fitting job for a quad of rowdy dumpster babies. We cheat to death, it's only fair that we replenish Hades. Or we could pray they repent and let God sort them. I'd rather make them confess and go to war on them. Perfect setup for the proper sequel. It's proper PC Comics, Mary Boys, there is no equal. Despite our mother's worst intentions, here we walk the valley and cast a shadow with death, the wickedness surrounding. Just want to go to the tavern and pound a couple lagers, but now my boots are painted red with sin and petals.
Oh man, I was getting into that music.
You can thank 6 a.m. Comics for that track. He did an amazing job.
He did. I didn't know. I'm going to have 6 a.m. on my show just as a guest. He is so talented in just everything. He's like, there's nothing he can't do. It seems like.
And a lovely bloke too. Just, such a nice guy.
Did you create that trailer or did he?
No, he did the song, and I got my sister works in the TV film industry, and she put it together for me.
Okay, very nice.
One in the family.
I really liked it. I will play the full version at the end of the show, and I'll scroll some of the comments from the chat as we exit. But we have some questions in the chat, which actually I was going to ask you as well. So Muttman said, let's see if I can scroll back there. He wanted to know about the religious influences of Merry Boys, and I was going to ask you that as well. Did you grow up in the church, or? I
was actually raised Anglican, not Catholic. But the thing is with Anglicanism is see, I grew up in South Africa, and most of our churches look like, they don't look very impressive because they are, were built from a Protestant perspective. So you don't have any of the adornments, you don't have any of those recreations that you would see on Catholic churches. But there were a few in the city center from hundreds of years ago, which I was just completely fascinated by. So it's almost like I sought out Catholicism afterwards, and I got really interested in just because everything, it was a bit alien to me at first, because the veneration of the saints, which I found absolutely fascinating, the cult of Mary, all that stuff. It's fertile ground. It's very inspirational, and the way I incorporated into the theme of this comic is, how can I put this? I wanted to do something that wasn't that would show conservative kids it's okay to be cool, that there is a lot of room for maneuvering, trying to retake those values and try and reassert something to push back. So that's the approach I've taken with this, that people can take it up and hold it up and say, yeah, this is we can trample over you for a change with our cultural the cultural things that we create.
Nice. I tried to explain what your book is about to my wife. She's not a really big comic book reader, even though she helps me do the graphics and stuff. And I said, she heard me laughing out loud. She goes, "Why were you laughing?" I'm just reading this comic book, and it's so entertaining and so original. And I tried to describe it to her. And every time I read it, I see more and more influences of things that, resonated with me. There's like a TMNT type of homage to it, a lot of Mad Magazine type of influence. And so I said, this would make a great movie. Have you been approached by anybody to maybe adapt it?
No, I have to get on to my sister who's in the TV industry and say, hey, you owe me a favor. I don't know. No. Maybe one day. I could well imagine somebody like have you seen This Is England?
No.
I forget who directed that, but I mean I could imagine that being done as in this it being done by that same sort of director. Or maybe Terry Gilliam would make a good, that's completely, but that's a very oddball sort of approach to it. But that would also work, a Terry Gilliam sort of approach.
I could see that kind of a Monty Python-esque, or a Guy Ritchie.
Yeah. It would be violent. There would be a lot of violence in it.
Yeah, I was gonna say I had some directors from Mel Gibson's movie called Fat Man. It was a Christmas movie. They were on my show a couple of weeks ago, and they're directing big budget features now. I was going, wow, I should maybe ask CHUBB if I should send a digital copy to these guys, because they do a lot of violent type movies, but they're not. They're not, I don't know how well versed they would be with an English type of humor, but to me, I read the book, and it just, to me, I think I would watch this as a movie. So who knows? I think you're onto something.
Well, thanks very much. This means a lot coming from you, Don. I consider you to be, really good. So when you praise my book, I'm like, whoa, this is awesome.
Well, I've seen your artwork. You were auctioning off pieces, and I didn't really see your sequential stuff until you sent me the books, and I just went, this is a lot of fun. It's like if I could describe it in one word, it's almost like Will Eisner, TMNT, Dairy Girls, like on crack is basically what the way I describe it to people. And it's obviously it's violent, and it's for mature. I would say. Would you say like late teens and up, or do you recommend it more for
late teens? I mean, if I think about I think it's a weird thing with these age restrictions now. It's you can have extremely violent stuff, and I think the age restrictions have actually come down to our rating. But where it comes to serious sort of life stuff, they will move that right off the scale, up to 18, which I don't understand. It's like we've become more sensitive to certain things and other things. Like it's moved around a bit. No, but I think teenagers totally. If teenagers can listen to punk and metal and black metal and stuff like that, they can read comic books, like controversial stuff, can't they? And I don't even think it's that controversial. It's it's just a slightly different take.
I think your book would sell great like in music stores, because it kind of has that rebel punk type of attitude to it. It reminds me it's like I want to listen to the Clash when I'm reading a comic book.
That's
So another question which I was going to ask you is this is a good question. A couple of people ask what your inspirations are, but that is a question that we're going to have later. So maybe we should save that for the next quiz, which will probably be coming up in a minute, and then we can expand on that. Would that be all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or not me, but it's Pedro's question. So.
Okay, so I did have a question for Mrs. Chubb, and that would be, are there any books that you enjoy reading?
Hey, I can see you. So obviously I've had thorough comic books education, because of the comic books lying around, and you can't not pick them up. I wasn't so much into comic books before we started going out. Hadn't been anyway. However, I'm not I'm not as knowledgeable as Carl, obviously.
I corrupted her with comic books.
Yeah, I corrected him in other ways, so we even. And
That's hilarious.
yeah, I'm actually in a book club, so I read a lot of different stuff. From all over.
Well, thank you. That's cool. So another question I have is, what was the inspiration for Merry Boys? Because it looked like you were kind of in Sparko. You were having a little bit of characters that kind of looked like them. They were dressed to kind of in the the Templar type of outfit. But did they ever make an appearance before the actual comic book, or was?
Well, in the end, you'll see when you get to that part. There's an older version of one of the Merry Boys in the last chapter of Sparko.
Oh, okay.
And when that was finished, the publisher told me, well, you've done one too few pages, for this comic book. And I'm like, great. So what now? I said, well, just do like a pinup of whatever. And I'm like, okay. So I just did a single page. So I thought, okay, well, what'll be funny? Just take one of the characters, and I extrapolated Harry, and I thought, how cool would it be if he had three brothers, and it was like the Turtles, and so the title would have been the Carl Stefan's Teenage Skinhead Sparko Templars, and that's before they all had individual weapons. They had different weapons. It was just like a bloody mess.
That's great.
And the idea just never.
Oh. It's bell time. All right, so it's time for quiz number 2, folks. If you're just joining us, if you answer the quiz right, you have the choice to win Merry Boys 1 and 2 digital, or the graphic novel that Carl was just holding up, which is called Sparka. So we are going to ask question number 2, and the quiz is, you have to get 2 to win. What comic creators are Chubb's influences? It can be artists or writers, and Chubb already sent me, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least almost a dozen different people it could be. So we'll let you in the chat get to it and let us know who you think influenced Chubb. We did mention some of the titles that that he read earlier, so that might help you. If you can't get them right, we'll give you some hints. And I know there's some Merry Boys experts in here, so we'll let you guys go ahead and start naming that. So how long have you been reading comics, Carl?
Oh, geez. Before I could read, I think I remember there's this Sergio Aragones book, Mad as a Hatter. It's like a compilation. Those little Mad books that you used to get. I remember reading that or looking through the pictures definitely before I could read it. So I must have been about 3 or something like that. And I just love that. My dad used to bring home comics, and it was Asterix and those Mad collections and Lucky Luke and those early European comics. Love those. So ever since then it moved on to American comics and horror comics, and I just did the full gamut, through the years. I haven't read superhero comics for quite a while. Towards the end of the 90s, I got onto the Vertigo stuff, and then it just started it was just independent comics after that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
One thing I noticed, I put 2 and 2 together. I don't know if this is intentional, but the priest, is he a priest in the book, or a father? Okay. So his name is Parrish, correct?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So Parrish, I enjoyed him in the book, and you show him when he's younger, like first arriving to town, and he meets he meets up with a hoodlum, and it doesn't end well for him, right? Which is kind of where you left it hanging with the first one. But I thought he looks a lot like Crypt Keeper. Was that? Did you notice that? This
Not consciously, but yeah, the white hair, that makes sense. Maybe subconsciously, kind of.
But here's a hint, guys. EC Comics. There's some creators from EC Comics that influenced Chubb. So if you have an EC knowledge, and you know who some of the best creators were from the EC Mad Magazine era, those are some of the people you can put down. And then let's see who we have here so far. We've got some of the answers. Well, call me Mark. He said, you're just that's hilarious. Let's see. We've got Muttman. He names, is there anybody in that group that is potentially one of your influence? I don't think you named any of them in your answer,
Not specifically, no.
All right, Muttman, guess again.
I enjoy all of those. Not Sam, all of them for the exception of Sam Keith, which I just don't really know. But I wouldn't go like, I mean, there's certain artists and writers that you look at and you go, oh, this is great. Then you get the others who go, oh, this is great. I'm going to try copy them, sort of thing. And yeah, not really.
Eric J says Slawa. Is that a greeting in Polish to you?
That's my ex.
Oh, is that him?
Uh-oh. This is awkward. Are you still on good terms? I would imagine.
Yeah, totally. Like, we cool.
He only wants to kill me a little
bit. Yeah.
Is this the Polish guy that you said was crying in the bar? Or?
He wasn't really crying. He's gonna watch this thing back now and go, "Oh, I'm gonna kick his ass."
Oh my god. Let's see. Muttman says Bernie Wrightson. Nope. Good try, Muttman. Come on, you guys. Maybe. Okay, I guess we'll just make it 1 if you can get 1 creator right, because I think 2 we're going to be here all day. Um, Comic Mark, he's pandering to us today. Okay, guys, you still have a chance to win your choice of digital copies of Sparko or Merry Boys if you can guess who his influences are. And let's see, I'm scrolling down still. Well, that's a good answer, but it's not something that that was in the
Not
predetermined.
specifically. I would say like the general idea of Mary Boy, the format of it. You know, the mentor and the 4 students. That's yeah, influenced by Eastman.
Yep. I love Eastman and Laird, obviously, with doing the hamsters and stuff, which, yeah, I see a lot of irreverency, just the way that there was a lot of violence in the hamsters, and your guys are, they get into it. I love that one scene where they're all simultaneously punching, the thugs in the face.
That's something you can only do in comics. I mean, how would you choreograph that in the movie? That's what I love about comic books.
That's true. That's true.
Violence. Yeah.
Wow, guys, come on, you guys, the comic creators who influenced, man, whoever guesses Carl, major comic book award. Creators Outlet is in the house. He says Frazetta. Unfortunately, William, that is not correct.
It's kind of good. It's kind of good that everybody can guess it because it means it didn't copy too closely. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, I'm gonna give people a hint. If you're astute, let me see if it's in the back of this book. I think.
No.
Are you gonna have fan art in the beef heads like you did in the first
Yeah.
one?
I've got a few. I'll have to see if they're high enough res, but yeah. Because last time I did, I parked them into the back of the comic.
This is going to be an easy hint if any of you are comic book historians. I've still not seen any right answer here, but to me, once I saw this, I said, "Is it okay if I show your inside back cover?"
Of course, yeah.
Okay, so guys, let me make this a little bit bigger here so you can see. If you know comic books and kind of composition, this scene with the cops running up the building and all the characters standing on top of the building. This is a homage to an artist that CHUBB was inspired by. So I won't hold it up too much longer because I'm getting tired. So there we go. Anybody? Oh my gosh, you guys. Well, I don't know, CHUBB. He said Aragones, Kirby, Mobius, Monty Python. We're looking for comic book artists. Actually, Gilliam was an illustrator.
That's true.
I heard. He's an animator. Matt Wagner. Nope. What do you think?
More Drucker's one. Yeah.
All right, Michael, you are the winner. So please email, send us your email in the chat, or you can Twitter message me, or you can send it to, let me see if I have my email up here. So Michael, you win your choice of either Sparko or Merry Boys 1 and 2. Just let us know which one, and then I'll pass on your information to Carl, and he can send you your comic book. So congratulations, Michael. That took a little while longer than I thought, but that's okay. So I'm going to make the next quiz 7 minutes since we're coming up on the hour. Let's see if there's any other questions I had here. This is one that I noticed. I noticed the Bible verse in your Twitter bio, Carl. It's Matthew 10:34. Do you care to elaborate?
It's kind of apt, and it comes back to, well, the actual Bible verse says, and I'm probably going to misquote it.
It's okay. I put it up for you.
Yeah. Think not that I came to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. And I thought that is that really ties in quite well with the theme of the comic book, because it's salvation through violence. But this was also something that was explored, obviously, a lot before the Crusades, when the church became militant and decided to invade the Middle East. to protect the Holy Land. And the Pope at the time did make a proclamation of divinity in violence, and I'm sure they looked to these verses and through their own interpretation of it, that there's a divine, going back into like a warrior's divinity. And I thought that was really apt. That was really apt for Mary Boys as well.
Mm-hmm.
But
you're not pounding people over the head with a message, but I see. I mean, I might be going out on a limb here. I know this is kind of a controversial subject, but I said, does Mary Boys have a pro-life message? Because that's what really touched me in the origin of Parrish finding the Mary Boys basically in a dumpster. And when I read that, I actually got a little choked up, because it made me feel like, gosh, this is really happening out there. So I don't know if you want to answer that, but I felt like,
I kind of snuck it in, but yeah, it is there, and that is basically my stance as well.
Okay.
And I don't know if I'll ever get hate for that. I haven't yet, but it's right what you know, and right what I mean. What's the point of making art? And I do consider comic books as art without putting in some of your own worldview. It's just how you dress it up and how you deliver it.
Right.
Which is obviously the problem with the current crop of comics. The delivery model is completely broken.
Yes.
It's completely divorced from the storytelling mechanism. And with this message, you can take it or leave it. It's not going to affect your enjoyment of the comic. You can I'm sure a lot of people who read over it and go, okay, it could mean that, but it doesn't really matter to me. I just want the laughs, or I see it as a plot device.
Right.
Which is fine too.
That's a great answer, Carl. I forgot to tell other people what your influences were. So guys, besides Drucker from the Mad Magazine kind of vintage class of creators, you've got Eisner, Jack Davis, Drucker, Wally Wood, and Will Elder. Those are all guys that quite a few of them worked for Mad Magazine and the old EC Comics. But then on the more modern front, with your European 2000 AD magazine, these are the more recent guys that you liked. So yeah, actually, did someone say Alan Moore? I don't know if they did.
Somebody said Matt Wagner.
Matt Wagner, that's true.
And John, the writers, the writers, a lot of Moores and Wagners kicking around this place. So.
Okay. So here's another question that I need to ask you, and that is, let's see, is it a shove or a chav? Because you got this print that you sent me, and it says no. Is it a chav or a shove?
As a chav, it's in the start of the comic, they get into a fight with these council estate gangsters. A chav is basically like I think somebody in Americans equated with a townie, like a really sort of sub working class sort of person. Doesn't work, lives off the states, just your worst kind of person. Not working class, like people say it's denigration of the working class to call people chavs, but the working class people I know hate chavs even more than anybody else does. So it doesn't make any difference. Yeah, I thought it would be it'd be good to punch down. Now, I don't have a problem with punching down in chavs.
You've got a great T-shirt on. I know. Is this available on your campaign? The one.
Oh, yeah. No, actually, it isn't. We've got it on our eBay store. I've got 2 boxes left of these shirts. They're in different, because we had everything printed. It's all silk screen printing. Offset printed. So we just had to get a whole big stock of them in, and it's not, so we've got a few boxes of them left that we sell from time to time.
Yeah,
but I didn't do it actively. It's just the problem is shipping to the US. because it's a garment and it's the shipping costs and stuff like that. So I haven't really been plugging that quite heavily because it's just it's just really expensive to buy them from here.
Maybe you can talk to RJ from Critical Blast, and he can maybe work on a shipping solution for you, because I know a lot of European people are doing that. But these all came with some really awesome prints that you did, and so cool. So are you on schedule with Beefheads, or is it looking you're coming out with it next year, correct?
Yeah. Well, so far so good. It's a lot of work. It's a hell of a lot of work. But I can show you some. I've got some. This is, what I tend to do is I do this one's going to look a little bit different to the previous one, in the sense that it's going to be a little bit less ink wash and more line work. So I still need to put the ink wash on this, for example, but this is what the page looks. This is more of my Will Elder sort of influence, like a lot of detail, chicken fat sort of. This is the second story.
Wow. How fast do you work, Chubb? How long does it take you to do a penciled and inked?
I'm treacle slow because I never get a chance to place it down draw. But yeah, so I don't know.
Oh, look, you showed a church, and we got church bells.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
That's pretty cool. I'm just curious. I mean, I am actually very blessed in that you did a sketch of my hamsters. Let me pull out for a second, which you so graciously sent to me. This is Clint, and Chubb sent this along with the comics. So Chubb, can people buy your artwork on your campaign, or I mean, do you sell pages? And if you do, what do they run, like in if you know, in US dollars or in?
I think it's, how much was it? It was postage included. I think it's 250 pounds. I'm not sure how much that is in USD, but it's on the campaign.
And it's free shipping.
Yeah. Okay. Let me go ahead and go back to the campaign page real quick, and then we'll ask the next. Let's see here. Sorry. And I'll put us back on there. Okay. So let's go to your campaign. Can you choose any page you want, or is it?
Oh yeah, it's just first come, first serve. So I'll just go in the order of backing. I think I've sold 2 so far.
Mm-hmm.
It's on a different. It's on. I had to create another tier, so it's not showing up on the campaign. But I think one person bought 2 pages themselves. So
there we go, right there.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 250 GBP is equivalent to 335 US.
Oh, okay.
Dollars. Okay. So, do you have any plans to offer covers too, or is it just interior?
Just interior. I want to hang on to the covers and do something with them.
Very nice. So you do line work, and then you do an ink wash, and then you do the lettering digitally afterwards.
And so the only thing I do digitally is the lettering, and the covers. I go old school with those. I use those old Doc Martens inks, Doc Phil Martens. These ink dyes. So it's almost like it's watercolor, but it's permanent watercolor, so you can layer them and everything. You get a really nice effect with them. I think the Mad, I got onto this through just researching the Mad magazine guys, and they all use the same stuff with squash and these ink dyes.
So the one that I'm showing on the screen right now, where it's kind of a fold out, that is the primary cover to the new book.
Yeah, that's it.
And then you have any variant covers planned as well, or?
That's that cathedral variant.
Oh, okay. Where they're in front of that right there. Okay, cool. Well, it's time for the next question quiz, folks. So again, if you answer this right, you will get your choice of either Merry Boys 1 and 2 digital or Sparko. So let's go ahead and ask that question. Do you think I should ask the boot question or the logger question?
Ask the logger question.
Okay, guys. So here we go. Quiz. True or false? Is it Tisk or Tisk?
Tisk.
Tisk. Okay. True or false? Tisk, the brand of beer Drunken Merry Boys, is based on an actual brand of Polish lager. So this shouldn't be too hard. All you have to do is say true or false out there in chat land. So I'll just go ahead and wait for you folks to chime in. I see the very first
Oh.
thing was Pops.
Pops has already won.
Pops
But
is
okay.
Pops. Did you win one earlier, Pops?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
he did. Actually, I think Muttman did too.
Yeah.
Does that mean
Yeah.
did oh, hang on a second. Let me make this big here. There it is. Tisky?
Tiskia.
Yeah. I just cut off the rest of it so I don't get. Well, I won't get sued. Can he get sued for product place for promotion?
I don't know
Product
about
placement.
that. This
I don't get a
sense,
sponsor actually. How cool would that be?
I sense this is an influence from Mrs. Chubb. Is it a
Well, the thing
One
is,
of many.
in the UK, with because we had quite a few Eastern European immigrants. Oh, I speak like I'm not an immigrant myself, and I didn't arrive on the same bloody boat. But there were a lot of Eastern European immigrants.
A few million.
Yeah, in the 2004 2005 around there, and it just the shop started selling a lot of Eastern European beers and things. So everybody was drinking those. So yeah, pretty much anybody in the UK is familiar with that brand.
okay? Is it tasty or is it just kind of mediocre? It's not too bad.
Nice.
It's okay.
It's nice.
For a mass-produced lager, it's
Yeah,
decent.
I'm not a beer expert. I just drink the stuff.
Mrs. Chubb, is it? Have you ever had VB, the Bancroft Victorian beer before?
VB.
VB, I think it's called
think
VB.
so.
It's like a working man's class beer. He always is showing. He's always showing commercials of VB. So I
haven't had his gay ice cream. I haven't had his VB. Gay time ice cream. Sorry.
Well, based on the answers, are you allowing people to win more than one set, or do you think we should space it out and let?
Yeah. I mean, let's. Is everybody okay with everybody who has? Okay, let's do it like this. The first person who got a correct answer after the people who'd already won something would get. I think that's fair, right?
I think so. So if that's the case, I think Muttman and Pops already won earlier. Forget if I'm wrong, let me know in the chat. So if that's the case, I think William from Creators Outlet would have been the first one that hadn't won something previously. So
Cool.
That work? Okay. So
Yeah, I will.
So William, go ahead and message me your email, and I will get that over to Chubb and Mrs. Chubb. Let's see. My man says that's fair. Thank you, guys. Let's see. We're up at 10 o'clock on the hour. Are you guys getting ready to eat dinner tonight, or?
Oh yeah, we've got childcare, luckily, so we're easy. It's all on you. It all depends on how long you want to run for.
Okay. Did you say you have childcare?
Yeah, I know it's rare. It's rare.
It's my parents actually.
Yeah.
How many kids do you have?
We've only got the one.
Just the one? Is it a boy or girl, or can you say, or?
Oh yeah, I know it's a boy. We're not modern parents. We're not going to wait till he's 18 and ask him to choose.
Oh my gosh! Is he of reading age yet, or does he? I mean, what's?
He just got 2 boxes of Beano comics, and he's a fan. So he's wearing his Dennis the Menace badge proudly everywhere he goes. So he started reading easy words now, but we read to him, and he would come from school, not even take his coat off and sit down with his Beano comics and go Mommy, I'm gonna read now. I'm like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, he's only 4.5.
Oh,
how
cute. Yeah. So he's called. Do you call him Baby Chubb, or? I don't know. Does he like the fact that his papa does comics, or does he kind of get that yet, or?
He's kind of oblivious to it. He probably thinks everybody's dad does this just to some degree.
He's aware that it's kind of taking a little bit of time away from family stuff, but we explained to him that it's absolutely necessary. It has to be done.
That's neat. So Just curious, Mrs. Chubb, what do you sell on eBay? If you want to put a link to your page or
No,
send it
not
to me.
really. So I can I've been advertising the Merry Boys related stuff, which is the t-shirts and the first 2 issues. But the rest of the stuff, it's basically designer clothing from other people. So it's like secondhand designer clothing.
Bric-a-brac stuff.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm not into that kind of stuff, but there are some rich women in the city who married rich men.
Okay.
And who haven't got the time to do it themselves. So I take a cut, I sell it on, everybody's happy.
That's neat. Wow, you guys are very
It's also
industrial.
very green. It's also very like ecological, like recycling used clothing. But it's like the kind of shelf that I can't afford, and I'm not even interested in because I don't care.
Okay, well that's cool. I think I have a couple more questions, and then we can wrap it up. We'll have one. I think have we done 3 quizzes so far? So we have one more at the end. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's see what another question is. What music do you listen to when you draw, Merry Boys, if you do?
Oh, it's a tough one.
He's a goth.
Well, I'm a bit of an old goth, who listens to a bit of metal, a bit of punk. So basically, that sort of thing. I've got this Merry Boys playlist that I've been putting together. I'll never get licensed or anything like that, but I thought this would make a good sort of soundtrack to it. So it's everything from martial industrial to neo-folk, punk, some goth stuff. Dead Can Dance. I don't know, all sorts. It's a weird mix with different because the comic and the stories. It's got this. It's almost I don't want to say duplicitous, but it's like bipolar. It's sometimes you get this punk sort of energy to it, but then it quickly changes into this navel gazing sort of introspective sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess the playlist would reflect that.
That's awesome. Do you have Mark? Well, he already did the Beefheads song, but do you have any plans to release that as a, maybe as a digital perk or anything on your campaign? Because I did that with my Beardzerker. We actually had a friend that did heavy metal music, so I took some of his songs and I made a 5 MP3s that people could buy for the Beardzerker. So
well, the full song that Mark did is already online. It's on our channel, so anybody who wants it can go have it. But I was thinking, how cool would it be if I can do like a single of like 4, well, not a single, but like an LP of 4 Merry Boys tracks, and I think it would be like more punk, oi sort of sounding.
Yeah,
something like that. That would be amazing.
Okay, yeah. That will lead us to our last question about kind of the punk style. We'll ask the question about Doc Martin boots. So that was curious, the way that you dress them. Is Doc Martens kind of like in England? Is that what you associate with kind of like the kind of street gang punk guys, or is that? I've noticed that kind of like in videos. I think from the old days, people would wear those, but you kind of incorporate them into your book in a pretty.
Oh yeah, it's a bit of an anachronism now. Yeah, because nowadays the people who wear the docs are your hip kids.
Oops. Sorry, that's not the quiz. That's one of my clients.
We need a house.
We're homeless.
But so yeah, they're wearing the Doc Martens, and they've got the Knight Templar outfit on, and that's a cricket bat, right?
Yeah, I actually brought up cricket bat for people who don't know what
Wow,
it's.
Well, that's a baby one. But
yeah, this is a small one. I still want to get like a proper size one
for baby chub.
For baby chub to protect the house. Protect the house.
Unleash the baby.
I've never seen. I've only seen snippets of cricket being played, but do you actually play, Carl? Or
it's very boring. Yeah. Very boring sport. It's just it carries on for days, and people entertain themselves by drinking along the side of the field, and not watching the game. It's not like baseball or anything like that. I can literally carry on for days and days and days. It's just I can't think of anything worse.
We have quite a few comments here. Let's see. Pedro says, if you want to print, oh gosh, everybody wants me today. Chubbs, if you wish to print the music in vinyl, I have some contacts. So that's nice.
Cool.
Thank you. Let's see. We've got one more question that I wanted to ask is what is next for Chubb and Mrs. Chubb? Do you have any crossovers or guest art appearances that you're doing?
Oh, like shows and things? No, we've been quite quiet now because it's the festive season and all that.
I'm sort of booked in for the 8th of January. The real princess, Krista Grant.
Oh, right. The real indie princess.
Yeah.
Real indie princess.
Okay.
So yeah.
So you're going to be on her show?
Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah.
Okay, cool. As far as I meant like as far as any crossovers, I think aren't you working on Tailless, or do you have some artwork on that? Or
I've only got the pinup that I did for Aria.
Okay.
I did that ages ago. So no, it's just full steam ahead. I just want to knuckle down because there's a lot of. I don't want to go into too many shows either because it's like, shouldn't you be working on your bloody book that I paid for, Chubb?
Right.
I'm quite conscious of that. So I'm just knuckling down, just to get as much work done as I can on it.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. Well, guys, we're actually coming up. We're past the hour, and I really wanted to thank you to Chubb and Mrs. Chubb for their time. So we're going to wrap this up with wow, I'm sorry. I should have turned my phone off. It's my day is starting here. So all my clients are trying to get a hold of me. You know what it's like, Carl, probably. Your phone is always going off. So let's go ahead and ask the last question, guys, of the day. And then again, this is for your choice. So if you folks have already won, I would say refrain from answering, and we can go ahead and so here's the quiz. What is the largest size Doc Martens boots you can buy? And this is in UK size charts, according to Carl, right, Carl?
Yeah. Well, it's going to be hard because you got different size, different. It's hard buying shoes online, isn't it? Because nobody knows what bloody size it is, and that.
It's basically a Google question.
Yeah, it's a Google question.
Yeah, I had to Google it, and then I had to check out Doc Martens because they look like pretty cool shoes, but I didn't know they made so many. They're expensive. They're kind of pricey.
They are expensive now, yeah. I mean, they were expensive back in the day, but at least you
but they last forever.
Yeah, well, the ones I have, I still wear. And I've got some that I got more recently that are like from a different. It's from a company that uses the same. They make them the same way they used to be made, and these things will last me forever. So I'm happy with it. But
20 odd years.
Yeah.
So let's see. People are talking about Doc Martens hipsters. Is that true? Marigo Ann sounds like she might be from overseas.
Yeah, she's from London, as far as I know. She also is to Slimelight. So our neck of the woods.
So let's see if there's any other answers yet. We're looking for a size. Tommy Mark took a guess at 99.
99 what?
Nope, it's not 99. You have to guess it in UK sizes. If you want to cheat and go to Doc Martens website, you can, but I actually don't think you'll find it there. We found it. I think Chubb found it somewhere else. Let's see. As far as cricket goes, Comic Pop says golf is much more fun with drunk driving with carts. Balloons. Was Nina a Polish singer?
German. Next door.
German, okay. Yeah, that was back in the MTV days. I remember her. She was kind of cute. Who's a famous Polish musician that we would know?
Oh my goodness.
Vader.
Okay, Vader is death metal.
Behemoth.
Yeah, Behemoth. Yeah, but that's all metal.
Very
I
metal country.
don't follow the chart music thing
Okay.
at all, so I wouldn't know. Like, as far as mainstream music goes, I've no idea.
What do you listen to, Mrs. CHUBB? You sound. I think I looked at your Twitter page, and are you into like kind of like metal and
I'm a metalhead. Yeah.
yeah?
She listens to
Limelight.
scary music. She really does.
Yeah, it started in primary school when I was 12, and I haven't stopped listening to that. But I listen to anything and everything. But this is like still.
She once hurt her neck, headbanging to, what was it? You were like walking like this for like a week afterwards because you threw your neck out.
It happens, you know, like party injuries.
Was
But
Limelight? Was it more like a mosh metal type of club, or was it more of a?
No, that's
No.
electronic. It's industrial.
Alternative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you'll find a lot of goth music.
It's a
EDM,
members
industrial.
club too, so there are no like accidental street people coming in.
Oh, okay.
Street vibes, yeah. Like trying to sneak in at 3 a.m. No,
Making it
none
sound-
of that.
Making it sound like, yeah.
I'm kind of old. I mean, I grew up in the '80s. When you say industrial, is that like Ramstein and stuff like that? Or?
Skinny Puppy, I guess Ministry. It's difficult, you know. I can think of loads. I'm trying to think of.
It's more than just a goth club. It started out as a goth club.
Yeah.
30 years ago.
Yeah.
They usually have a few floors too, so they would cater for industrial goth, trad goth, all sorts of kinds of music that you've never heard of.
It's a really interesting place because it started out as a squat. You know, it
Mm.
started out in 1987. It basically started. Somebody broke into the building and started a squat party there, and then the freeholders, the owners got wind of this, and I guess the organizers were very charismatic because they persuaded them to keep doing this, and eventually they persuaded them to give them a lease, and it's been going since since 87. So how long? It's 35 years.
Mm.
Of
Wow.
continuous,
Party.
Yeah, they only recently got a liquor license, I think. You used to be able to make your own booze to it.
Do you still go there to like on your anniversary, or is this?
We were going to go there for New Year's Eve party, but it's been cancelled because of the Omicron moronic thing. But hopefully, as soon as something happens there, we'll be there. It's all about obviously bringing in my parents to look after our little one, so that we can go to London and go berserk.
Wow, who knew? I'm learning all about your culture and your goth clubs. Let's see. We're still looking for an answer on the shoe sizes, guys. So I'm going to drop a hint. It's a number that's less than 20 and more than 10. So if you want,
it's going to be a hard question. That's why I went for
it's a
the
little hard. But if anyone wants to guess a number, you're going to have a good chance of getting some digital copies of CHUBB's work. So I'll leave it open for another minute or so. But if you don't guess it, then I guess that chance will have flown the coop. So so what else are you guys planning for New Year's? Anything exciting besides possible?
Scrabble and vodka.
Right now, it's
You'll be drawing.
New Year's has been destroyed. So I guess I'll be drawing. And that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, be drinking
Nice.
with your parents and playing Scrabble in Polish.
So Carl, on your day job, so you do real estate contracts. Do you so you very rarely do any type of litigation type stuff?
No, I avoid it. I started out in litigation, but it's not. I don't have the personality for it. I take it too personally. I get too angry. I become very uncivil very quickly. So I don't have I'm not cut out for it. It's just not my thing.
Well, we're getting close, but we still don't have the correct answer. And I guess we'll just leave this open if you've already won once before, because we only have so many people in the audience. Would it be okay with you? We can have a multiple winner. They can get both.
I tell you what, I'm gonna let's give this to past master Dan. because he
Okay.
hasn't won it, and he's the closest to out of the people who haven't,
So what
Okay.
is the answer?
16.
The answer, yes, is
Biggest
16.
size you can buy without getting it specially made,
So
which is pretty
Past,
big.
Past Master, please email me, or I don't know if you're on Twitter or not, Past Master, but I put my let me put my email up again, or you can just put it in the chat here. So when I play it, I can get your email. So please email me your email address, and then I will give it to Chubb, and then you can let us know if you would rather have Merry Boys 1 and 2 digital, or Sparko, which is his graphic novel with slave labor. How did that happen? Did you just submit it and then they said, yeah, we'll publish it? And that's kind of how
Yeah,
you.
I mean, I was a big fan of a lot of stuff that Slave Labor were putting out. Johnny the Homicidal Maniac, Squee. I liked Skelebunnies a lot, actually, which is kind of weird. Just the whole. I got loads of Slave Labor books from a certain point when they were still doing those weird goth comics and stuff. I liked that, and I just that was who I wanted to publish with at the time, so I sent it in, and yeah, that was it.
What year was that, Carl?
2012, it got published.
Okay, that must have taken you a long time because it was a huge.
Oh yeah,
2 years.
Wow.
about 2 years of parts of just spent, drawing that bloody thing. But yeah, I think it was good in the sense that I just got a lot of bad art out of me, and also I wrote this thing by the seat of my pants. I had a very sort of vague idea of how I wanted to start. I knew how it starts, roughly what happens in the middle, and then roughly how it's going to end. And I kind of just drew my way through that, and little lessons were learned. And since then, I've just read a lot on how to write something properly, how to structure things, how to pace things, how to letter things properly. So, yeah. So it's a good thing at the end of the day.
Awesome. Well, I will let you know after I get through it. Like I said, I'm reading it on my computer, and it's weird, but I like it. It's a weird. I'm following this kid, and he's kind of rambling through town, and he's obviously under the influence of something, and you just kind of, I'm finding out, he's basically a dealer, right?
Ex-rock star, fallen on hard times.
Okay, yeah, cool.
Drug dealer, yeah.
Yeah, drug
I don't
dealer.
like him.
No. That's the thing. Monica was always like, "Well, this is a terrible protagonist."
Well,
why did you do this?
I laughed when you said what the name of his band was. When the fans see him on the street. Let me see if I can find that here. Is it coming up? The name of his band?
Almost, yeah, when they're in the club.
Almost there. There it is. Simian Sex Slave, right?
Yeah. I think of Alien Sex Fiend, but not quite,
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, I think that's going to do it for us today, folks. Do you have any other things you would like to tell people about, or how they can reach you? I do have your Twitter handles all ready to go here, which I should have put up a little bit earlier, but you're on Twitter. Do you have a website or anything like that?
No website. I should organize one, actually. But if you could subscribe to our YouTube channel, that would be great. It's Proper Comics. Just Google that and it'll come up.
Yeah, I have been kind of cross-advertising our various platforms. So you will see me asking on Facebook to, follow me on Twitter and around, like I'm on Minds and other platforms.
Okay. Well, if you want to send me your eBay store and any other link, I will put it in the description.
Thank you.
To the show. I think the Indiegogo link on the YouTube page so you can back Beefheads. I backed it, folks. I think it's really worthy of backing. You are I think you're like $17,000 US right now, which is pretty good. How much did your first campaign make, Carl? Do you recall?
Well, when it closed, I think we were at about £7,000, which I think at the time was about $9,000 or $9,000. But I kept it running, and while I was making it, updating it, still doing shows, and so eventually, when it closed, it was up to something like it doubled. Yeah. It went to about £15,000, so it did really well.
That's
with
great.
550 something backers. Yeah.
Do you do all the fulfillment yourself?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
It's kind of fun. It's kind
My
of fun for
fingers
the first
bled.
couple hundred. Lots of tape, and Gemini mailers and stuff like that. So, well, thank you so much for your time. I had very enjoyable. I hope you folks in the chat enjoyed it. As I promised, I'm going to play 6 a.m.'s full version of the Beefheads theme song as I scroll through some of the comments. But next week, I want to just let people know I'm having a promotion show, and it's 4 minutes to promote yourself. It's kind of like an open mic show. If you'd like to come back, Chubb, you're welcome to promote Beefheads. But we're going to have, it's kind of a mixed smorgasbord of creators. So if you're a creator and you have a talent or a YouTube channel or anything like that, and you want to come on my show, I'll post a link in the YouTube chat, and you can just click it, and you'll be in a green room, and it'll be like first come, first serve. So that'll be the first Wednesday of January 2022. And I hope you guys have a very merry, not a Merry Christmas, but hope you have a great, happy New Year.
You too.
Thank you.
You too.
You get to enjoy some time with with each other, with your little one being cared for. And again, thank you so much for your time, and I hope you have a great day.
You too. All right. Okay. Cheers, Chad.
Thanks,
Bye,
guys.
Thanks for having
Bye-bye.
me.
All right, so those are the Chubb and Mrs. Chubb. What a charming couple. All right, guys, so I'm going to call it a day, but before I do, I did want to mention that we did get over $10,000 on BEARDZZERKER on Indiegogo. We just hit it earlier this week, so that means that we're going to send Michael Bancroft a very manly blouse to go along with all the other costumes that he's had. So if you haven't backed BEARDZZERKER, you can go to beardzerker.com. It's on Indiegogo. It's still in demand, and we are still running some specials on it. So check it out. I'm going to go ahead and play the Merry Boys Beefheads trailer. So enjoy, guys, and we'll see you next time. I may do a New Year's Eve show or New Year's Day show. I'm not sure yet. Like I said, I have a bunch of stuff I like to unbox. So you might see a notice. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and do that, and you'll be notified whenever I do a stream. But anyways, here's the Merry Boys theme song.
Here we go. Never far from a bloodstained paddle. Heading to the bar with my brothers holding hip to metal. I smell sinners and I swear I'm running out of cheeks. Father, forgive me, but my tolerance is getting weak. Should I flatten them out or should I take a shot? Bottoms up before I pile up some body parts. The devil's in the bottle, so I guzzle from a glass. With every sip, I feel like taking out the city's trash. A fitting job for a quad of rowdy dumpster babies. We cheat to death, it's only fair that we replenish Hades. Or we could pray they repent and let God sort them. I'd rather make them confess and go to war on them. Stop it. Verse 2, the perfect setup for the proper sequel. It's proper PC comics, Merry Boys, there is no equal. Despite our mother's worst intentions, yeah, we walk the valley and cast a shadow with death, the wickedness surrounding. Just want to go to the tavern and pound a couple lagers, but now my boots are painted red with sin and pedals lava. Bartenders are conscious and I could use a drink. This always happens when I skip confession for the week. I slip a bottle of whiskey and leave a couple pounds. I'm not a thief, but there's a couple laying on the ground. We wipe our prints if we had been submitted to the system, but that's a perk of failed horses, we don't claim existence. And as the cops arrive to glance upon the wrath of God, me and my blessed kin of twins are on the next mirage. Rain check on another brother's night out. That's how the path of righteousness can have you get down. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Breaking walls, more specifically the quaternary. You better back this Indiegogo or so help me Mary. A solid recommendation from your boy 6. Don't screw around and miss your chance to be a part of this.